Well, good morning, Glue Troopers. I hope everybody's doing well. Well, today's going to be a little different. It's going to be more of podcast format. There won't be any pictures. I don't really think I'm going to need them for what I am about to describe because we have all done it. Yesterday, as I was working on my kit bash, I had 4 little parts. And since they go on the outside of the model, I wanted them to pop against the black and white. I decided I would paint them bright red, sort of a candy apple red, give them sort of that safety look. You know, these things have to be painted red to denote do not touch, danger, hot section. And that's going to look kind of cool, little color to pop. Well, since it was just 4 small parts, 2 exhaust covers and 2 little intakes, I figured, you know what? I'm not going to get out the air brush and get out the primer and coat all this and then wait for it to harden and then get the airbrush out and dirty it up for a couple of squirts. It's just too much work. I'm going to take a shortcut. We already see where this is going. Well, all of my red paint, acrylic, was already thinned for the airbrush. So every time I've tried to use a brush on it, once you thin it for airbrush, it just won't work using a brush. It'll be way too thin. You'll put on numerous coats, way too much work. Nope. And I don't want to dirty up the airbrush just for this little squirt. So, oh man, let's see. Well, I got the little Tester's red jar, but now that's an enamel. It takes forever for that to harden. And I'm not even sure this stuff's still any good. Well, let's see. Do I have any paintbrush? No. Okay. Well, wait a minute. I got the rattle can of red lacquer. Well, the lacquer goes on real thin, Tamiya lacquer. So, of course, if I spray that on, I'll have to make 4 or 5 coats. So, easiest thing to do. No one's going to notice. It's a quick and dirty cheat. I have the big spray can of the red, basically regular paint, Krylon type paint that you buy at Walmart in the big cans. I figure this stuff, it's going to be a little bit of waste because it's such a big can for such little parts. But not a problem, right? This stuff's fairly cheap. And puts on one nice thick coat and you're done. And it'll harden, in half hour to an hour. No worries. So I lay down some tape in the paint booth and put the on the little Lazy Susan. And I put the parts on the tape, make sure they're nice and secure. What could go wrong? Well, give the can a really good shake, and make sure it shake. I know, sorry, promised I wouldn't do that. So I'm ready to blast it and get back the right distance, make sure I'm not too close and everything, and squirt, and it all looks fine. And then I spin the Lazy Susan around and hit it again. And of course, these parts are fairly small. There's only so much grip on that tape. And once I turn it around and hit it from the other side, one of the pieces flops over on its side and all the wet paint goes on the tape. Oh, great. Because I was only going to little squirt, somebody didn't really think it was necessary to put his rubber gloves on. I found one of my little toothpicks and managed to stand the part back up. Figured, great, now I got to hit that side again. When I did it, now the tape comes loose and flails around. I'm like, oh, great. So now I got to get another piece of tape and tape the tape back down on the ends. And now it's nice and secure again. And I hold it with the toothpick and give it another shot and have to do the other side, which of course causes some buildup. And all of a sudden, this very simple little squirt, rotate, squirt, and we're done starts turning into a thing. And we've all had minor little projects, that turned into a thing. And then when I finally get it all coated, I realized, great, now I've got buildup. So it's going to take all night for this stuff to harden. And to add insult to injury, I look down and I, of course, have touched the tape and now I've got red paint all over my hands. It looked like I'd stuck them in a meat grinder. Now I got to put the thing away, and it took me 15 minutes to get that house paint off my hands. In fact, I went to dinner at my sister's last night, and while I was washing my hands, I was like, oh my gosh, did I cut my finger? No, it was just a streak of red paint. It was just so ridiculous. It was like a Jerry Lewis skit or a Mr. Bean skit, where you go to do this. In fact, I remember Ron Atkinson, he did a documentary on comedy, and he talked about how one of the things with the Mr. Bean character, and it's very popular in comedy, is when the protagonist has the biggest trouble doing the smallest things, like he's trying to wash his hands and the soap keeps squirting out of his hands. Anyway, I know we can all relate to that. I thought you guys might get a little giggle with your morning coffee over my plights and foibles, but sharing them with you is the only thing that makes them worthwhile. Well, guys, that's it for today. Hopefully those parts will be hardened. Hope to see you at the live stream Saturday night, but I'm going on the road, so there won't be any more content probably till the next live stream. So take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.